Hello, guys. So actually, I was born in Russia, but I was growing up in Switzerland. I've been living in Turkey for the last 3 years, and right now I'm based in Vietnam. Who's part of my team. We have been building Filemarket for 1.5 years, and I'm in the crypto space since 2016. So I've failed so many projects that right now I finally know what not to do actually, because if if we're gonna be honest, Web3 space is changing so rapidly, and no one really knows actually what is going to be in 1 year. So I think that if you're a founder and if you have a team, the most important skill here is just to be flexible and to be all in and to truly understand the trends and the technology. So Filemarket is a peer-to-peer file sharing platform for trading any digital goods, but we are looking into DataFi direction. So we want to mix up data file sharing story together with DeFi mechanics, because what we do is that actually people can sell any kind of a file, like a 3D model or Excel spreadsheet or a JSON file or front-end libraries or a setup for Blender node, for example, for some specific visual effects. So pretty much it's all about tokenizing all this kind of I call them industrial assets. And if the assets are already tokenized, then they could also become a part of a Web3 economy. And the direction we are looking into, we are the most excited about, is the data economy. And Filecoin is definitely the leading project in this space. So that's why we've been sticking with their ecosystem since 1.5 years. We have a grant from them. They went through their incubation program, and we became App of the Month in the Filecoin and IPFS ecosystem. And now finally, we are also part of Protocol Labs network. So they are helping us right now to get into a proper acceleration program. I was talking to Techstars today, and we are also raising pre-seed right now. And it seems that we are finally really close to get into the League of Champions. So it's great to be here, guys. I love Bangalore. My mom lives in Nepal since 6 years. My mom does adventure business in Nepal. So she told me so many stories about the Indian culture and Hindu culture in the world. And now I finally understand what she was talking about all the time, because I believe that you guys as a nation, you have something very special, something what no other nation has. You have the kindness in your heart. And I believe this is one of the essential skills to build the world of the future society. May the force be with us, guys. Let me tell you quickly the story. We also have our fun project, which is called DAO Web3 Jedis. And wherever I go, I create local Web3 Jedis group chat. So I believe that there's a dark side and a light side. There's Siths and Jedis in the crypto game. And most of the people who live in the world, they are like muggles from Harry Potter. The guys who don't know about magic. So you all are not muggles, guys. So that's congrats about this. So you are already on the right path. By the way, if you choose the dark side, you can get success much quicker. You need 2-3 years because you are abusing the force. But if you truly looking for synchronization with the force, you'll need much longer time. You'll need 10, 15, maybe 20 years to come to the success. But you're going to be able to save something very important in your heart. By the way, maybe that relates to India, by the way. You know what I said just right now? So it looks like India is a nation of Jedis. But Siths are also here, of course. All right, so that's, by the way, me. It's not created with AI. That's one of my artist friends did this one. So it's like a data center which turns into a temple, and because I believe that actually Ethereum is going to be the new global jurisdiction. But in general, the Web3 space seems for me right now as a religious movement actually than just like a tech story. It has just enormous social, political potential actually. So let's talk a little bit about decentralized storage. I know that you have all heard a lot about this, but there is a big mess, because if you try to Google, for example, about IPFS or about decentralized storages, then you'll see, for example, the list of where some gateways into IPFS are called competitors of IPFS, even though they actually use IPFS. And so we have file systems, which are protocols. We have different storage providers who are literally providing the physical storage. We have decentralized storage networks that are creating the markets for them. We have data providers, the guys who are using the services of storage providers thanks to the decentralized storage networks and their file systems. And then we also would have like different gateways that help people onboard the data. And of course, like blockchain that is used to maintain pretty much the whole story. So let me also share a little bit about myself. You can also scan the QR code to connect with me on LinkedIn or to follow me on Twitter. So one day the underdog met the King Kong, they fell in love, and the Underkong was born. I also have a brother, King Dog, but he is not with me today. So I'm founder of Filemarket. Also, I've launched the DAO Web3 Jedis. I was born in the middle of Russia. I grew up in Switzerland. I have like 10 plus years experience in IT, and I've been building in the Web3 space since early 2016. For me, it was always an ideological story, because after I came from Switzerland back to Russia, I was always trying to understand why is the life in the system is so retarded and so inefficient and so corrupted, and people are so poor and uneducated. And I was always thinking, what could be the tool, the mechanics, like to change it all. And I believe that the transparent databases and registry, global registry systems based on blockchains is the only way. So why am I talking here today? Because we've been building Filemarket for 1.5 years, and we became the app of the month, and Cointelegraph is on board. They have 1% of the equity. We have some prizes on East Global Hackathons. We went through 2 stages of FVM incubation program, and we are also finalists of Switch Up acceleration program. This is actually the most interesting, what we really need to understand. It relates in general like to the whole Web3 space, not just to decentralized storage topic. So in 2016, the whole hype was just around the token. So all the startups, they were releasing a token, and they were giving some promises, and this token was traded on decentralized exchanges. That's it. You remember, Bitcoin went very quickly up, and then it ended up also with this the same speed. And then, but in 2020, what we saw is that projects started to use the token and some basic logic on the public chain. What is the logic on the public chain? It's a smart contract. So pretty much you take a program, some logic, you put it on the public chain, and this public chain executes this logic. So we are talking here about all these basic NFT, DeFi, DAO mechanics, like staking, swapping, minting. It was proof of concept more, it was big experiment, R&D process. So what we saw is that there was a huge hype. It lasted a little bit longer, but then everything went down really rapidly, because we can see that in the combination between token and smart contracts, it's already getting much more interesting than just a token as in 2016, but it's not enough. There is no real value inside. So now we are finally coming to the third stage of the evolution of blockchain, where we have tokens, we have smart contracts, and we have the data. Filecoin in some way is the leading project in this space. That's why I'm using the logo Filecoin here. But now imagine we have the data that can be controlled straight out of smart contracts. So this concept of computation over data becomes possible. And this is how we are going to come. This is where the game rules are really changing. And this is how I believe we can really come to the mass adoption, because the data brings the real value into the whole scheme, into the whole model. So decentralized web is impossible to build without a decentralized storage. The whole web is built on the storage. So we need hostings. Pretty much it's a storage plus computation. And there are a lot of benefits that we are getting from this. It's censorship-less. There is a true ownership. It's more resistant to different attacks. Perpetual storage is becoming possible. Imagine you want to leave some kind of a digital heritage to the world, and you put it on any kind of a cloud service. But as soon as you will die, you're not going to be able to pay for this. So the file is going to get locked or deleted. Now imagine you can program the storage for 200 years and leave all your digital heritage to the world. I think this sounds really exciting. And what is also very important is that imagine right now the humanity, for the first time in our whole history, we have the ability for the first time in the history to save our history in an unchangeable way. Before this, every new emperor, every new king would rewrite everything. Every new government would rewrite everything. I mean, I would never think that it's so cruel, but like when we saw what Putin did with Russia right now in the last 20 years, he's literally taking it back into like Gulag state. Like, you know, turning it back into Soviet Union, because just this guy and his people, they don't know anything else. They don't understand Web3, they're scared of it. And the only way like they see is going backwards, which is actually very sad. So if we compare decentralized and centralized storages, there are actually like a lot of different benefits that we see there that I was actually already talking about right now. But it's important also to understand what is a proper decentralized storage, because IPFS, it's not a decentralized storage, it's just distributed storage. It's a file system and the network. But for the proper programmable decentralized storage, we need file system protocol, we need blockchain with smart contracts, we need hardware for validation, and we need hardware for storage. And this is what Filecoin actually has. But also Arweave and BNB Greenfield, they are also interesting to take a look at. Just next. So what is also interesting is that Filecoin is actually really cheap. And it's really cheap because of its technical architecture, but not only because of this. Like imagine like any kind of corporation like Amazon or Google, like Google Drive, like they would have huge amount of people, like, you know, like top managers need to get bonuses in the end of the year, like so many additional expenses. And now imagine we have something similar to Amazon, but without Amazon itself. Just like people, data centers all around the world providing their storage powers and creating this network. So Filecoin is literally like the cheapest decentralized like storage right now on the market. Of course, right now it's kind of also getting like subsidized, but it is for real actually really cheap. So right now, it's also pretty important, like to see how I am actually classifying like this story around storage in Web3. So we have distributed storages. It's pretty much like a distributed storage. It has no blockchain inside. Then we have decentralized but not programmable. So it means that these storages, they are on blockchain, but they don't have any smart contracts. So you cannot put your custom logic or like on chain or do the computation over data. And here where it gets really interesting, like here we got decentralized storages and with programmability. And this is where you should be looking at, like especially if you're developing something, because data economy is definitely going to be one of the next big narratives. So, but the real magic, as I was already saying before, starts when we think about the computation over data. So now imagine like Filecoin becomes some kind of a data set. And then we have smart contracts also, and through these smart contracts, AI is actually communicating with this decentralized storage and using it. And we really believe that this is the only way how to take like the power like away from centralized corporations and centralized governments who are building AI technologies right now. This pretty much looks like this is the only way how to make AI that could like belong to the wider audience, to the people. And sometimes masses actually have really good logic. Like sometimes we say that a huge amount of people is getting stupid, but it's not really true. For example, if you would ask like all like the people in your community, like people still would like on average, you know, the answer that medicine and education and environment in the city are the most important topics like to focus and to spend on. That's what actually masses like provide as their some kind of like mass logic like organism. Okay, what is IPFS? IPFS is actually in IPFS, like every file, when you upload every file into IPFS, it has its own CID. So instead of like looking for the file through the root, we just look for the file through the CID. So means content ID. So every file would have a unique CID. If you cannot upload the same photo into IPFS twice because it will have a same CID. But if you just burn one pixel, it will be already like another CID. So you can like still do it, and for you it would look the same. But also IPFS is actually it's a network, but also it's first of all it's a file system, it's a file protocol. So let's go next. So they're actually like right now, if you are using IPFS, there are several ways how you can make your files stay on IPFS. Because if you upload your file into IPFS, actually they're gonna get deleted just like in 2 weeks. So you can either like run your own node, or you can just like pay a service to Nata to pin it, or you can also like pretty much like run your own network of nodes, but you will need the technical team for that. All right, let's go next. And yeah, if you want to use Filecoin or IPFS, you need to use this kind of like decentralized storages. Lighthouse Storage is highly recommended. It's an Indian startup backed up by Protocol Labs. Let's go next. So here we have like one final thing. Like I was talking a lot about smart contracts and decentralized storage. This is the thing you should really take a look into. It's a Solidity compatible layer on top of Filecoin. So you can deploy your Solidity smart contracts into the Filecoin, and straight from the app through the Filecoin virtual machine, you're going to be able to actually interact with the data directly. Yeah, let's go next. Yeah, this is our Filemarket. This is how it looks like. You're welcome, guys, to test it out. Next one. And this is how our Encrypted FileToken Protocol works. It's a true peer-to-peer file transferring protocol. Go next one. We have released File Bunnies that became the biggest ever cross-marketing campaign in the Filecoin and IPFS ecosystem. Next one. And thank you very much, guys. May the force be with you, and let's keep in touch.